Live from Easy K Studios, it's Darth Easy and the Rainy Cage. Easy K Show is back.
Woo!
Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Easy K Show. I am Darth Easy.
And I am Rainy Cage.
Once again, our schedule has changed. It's the one thing about this show is schedules always change, and will it change again? Most likely. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, this week we are covering the top 10 live action Disney movies in honor of the film Cruella coming out next week. And so this is not just, Disney animations that turn into live action films. It could be any day Disney has done like a live action movie, because Disney has been around for a long time, but mostly they've been known for the little animated films. So I thought it was a good idea to do a top 10 covering some of these films. So, Reddy Cage, was this a hard list for you to create?
No, I mean, a lot of these movies I had seen when I was a kid. A good way of saying this is it's our top 10 non-animated Disney films. Because when you search up live action, you get a lot of the more recent last decade animated turned to live action. But no, I mean, I had about 18 or so movies that made my list, I guess, with honorable mentions and everything. And I wouldn't say I don't think I have a great movie in this bunch. I'll say that. Like on this,
I don't agree with that.
I don't have a truly like a perfect movie to me on my list, but that got some good ones on here. It wasn't too bad.
Okay. What's me and Ray Cage to decide a topic? We go a separate way and come our own separate top 10s. I'll do my 10 through 8. He'll do a 10 through 8. I'll do my 7 through 6. He'll do a 7 through 6. Then we'll trade one apiece. Once we compile our own separate top 10s, we will create the show between the two of us. And since I started first last time, you can go first this time.
Whoa. Game changing. My number 10 is a movie I just recently watched within the last year, National Treasure.
Okay, that's my number 10 as well.
Yeah, it took me forever as the huge Nick Cage fan that I am. This was one of the missing title, this and its sequel, from my movie viewing, and I finally bought them and watched them, and I really enjoyed them. They're kind of Indiana Jones like, but a little more modern, kind of like a modern Indiana Jones type feel. And Nick Cage, I think, is great in it. I mean, he's playing his normal Nick Cage self. And I like all the little side characters, and I like all the little mysteries and puzzles. And, I had a good time watching both of these. And I never really was interested in them when I saw the trailers and stuff back in the day. And I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, I struggled with this movie making the list, because I was like, either this movie or another one. But finally, I just said, I changed the list 3 times, and finally I landed with National Treasure. This movie's fun. I mean, you got Nicolas Cage, like, I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. And you're just like, what? And you're like, okay. I mean, it has a little bit of the heist thing kind of into it, but then it has all this ridiculousness history stuff with the Masons. And then I really like Sean Bean as the villain of the movie. I mean, it was just cool to see him playing the bad guy role in this film, trying to one up Nick Cage throughout the whole story. I love National Treasure. It's such I don't think it's a great movie, but it's such a guilty pleasure, and it's a fun movie. And when I think of Nick Cage, it's just one of the few movies I think of and everything. So yeah, National Treasure definitely had to make my list at number 10.
All right. My number 9 is a more recent film in Christopher Robin.
Okay, that's a punt.
Okay. Then my number 8, I wanted to put a sports film on here because Disney does make a lot of good sports movies, and I went with Remember the Titans.
Okay.
You're not a big fan of Remember the Titans?
No, not really. I mean, I just think it's a little on the nose Disney sports feels like we have white boys, we have blacks, we're bringing them together, and we're gonna form a team. And then you have Denzel give him a speech,
Well,
and it's
well,
just
being awesome. It's it's a sports movie of my youth, and I think it's good. It's got a good cast. You got a very young Hayden Panettiere in here. I can't ever remember this dude's name, but his assistant coach or whatever
yeah, he's
is
been
really
in so
good.
many stuff. So
Yeah, he's good in it. And I don't know. Oh, Ryan Gosling, really young Ryan Gosling's in this.
mhm.
It's I just recently rewatched this about a year or so ago.
Yeah, when we did our top 10 sports movies last year was one of our last top 10s. For some reason, it was your number one sports movie.
Yeah,
So
it's when I think Disney sports movies, that's the one I think. Now I have some other honorable mentions, but this was the
mhm.
one that I was like, I mean, it just I don't know. I enjoy it. Yes, is it a little cliche and we've done this before? Yeah, but probably at the time, I mean, I don't know. It was probably pretty revolutionary at the time in 2000 when it came out. And I think it's a pretty damn good movie based on true story too.
Mhm.
So
There's
it's good.
better sports movies, and I have one movie a lot higher on my list that's a lot better to Remember the Titans, which I don't think you still haven't seen.
Oh, okay, maybe. Oh yeah, and I think I know what you're talking about, and I haven't. I need to though.
Okay. So my number 9 is my first Disney animated turn live action, and that is Beauty and the
I
Beast.
don't even have this in my honorable mentions. I think it's okay. I don't hate this movie,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Just didn't do it for me.
This
Beauty and the Beast
film,
is not my cup of tea.
Beauty and the Beast is one of my top 2 or 3 Disney animation films, and like I said, as I've said with a lot of Disney animated films turn live action, I'm never gonna want to say let's watch the live action over the animated ever again. But I thought the movie was great. I thought Emma Watson, Emma Watson as Belle was great. The songs felt very good. Even the new song with Beast, instead of him just being moping around, they gave him a song to sing about how he's always going to be alone. I thought that song was pretty good. So I thought Beauty and the Beast was really great. Great. Dan Stevens as the Beast really captures the character, and I really I like the movie, and also Evan McGregor as LaFleur, or I think that's the candles. I can't remember. But it's great. I love this. I remember watching it in the theaters and really enjoyed it. It's a film I would probably watch again, but I'd be honest with you, like I said, I would watch the animated over this one.
Cool.
All right, my number 8 is another animated movie turned live action. And this movie, actually, I do think is better than the original. And I went with Jungle Book.
That is in my honorable mentions.
Okay, Jungle Book, I just think, I mean, the movie is so impressive because they turn the forest into on a green screen, and like they have these animals talking, like Bill Murray's Baloo was great. I mean, and then Christopher Walken's King Louie was great as well, and even the kid I thought was very good, because someone who I don't like the Jungle Book movie, the original, and when I watched the movie, I was blown away by the special effects. And I thought Jon Favreau directed the hell out of this. Too bad he didn't do that the same thing out of Lion King. But what I think separates the two films is that this movie is something different from the original, and I like it follows some of the same story beats of the original Jungle Book, but it kind of does its own thing at the end. So
Yeah.
I really love Jungle Book. It's one that I could watch right now and enjoy, and even watch certain clips of the film, and I'm just enjoying it from beginning to end. So yeah, Jungle Book's definitely one of those films that I really enjoyed.
You'd rather watch this over the animated Jungle Book?
Oh yeah.
This is a good movie. I mean, I enjoyed it. There's two other Disney live action movies that I like better than this one,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and Your Beauty and the Beast, of course, because I'm not a big Beauty and the Beast fan. But it's a good one, and you're right. The Jon Favreau, the special effects thing's insane. You know, that whole movie was made with one boy and a green screen and
Mm-hmm.
lots of digital effects, and it looks really good for being all fake.
All right, that's my tits are eight.
All right, my number 7 is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I
Okay.
think we talked about this before. You've not seen this film or
Nah,
any
I've
of this?
seen it. I've seen it. It's just in years, like probably 20 years.
This is one of the movies I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm planning on going back because Kia hasn't seen any of these films. There's 3 of these films. There's 2 where they shrunk. The first one, they shrink the kids. It's the best one. The dad accidentally or the kids accidentally shrink themselves, pretty much. And then the second one is the parents shrink themselves, and then the third one he accidentally blows up he giant sizes the baby. But they're really cool. It's really cool to see. You know, you're walking around outside the backyard, and the ants are ginormous, and the oatmeal cream pie is as big as a house, and they're funny and fun. It's one of them ones, like I said, I ain't seen in 20 years, and I want to rewatch them because I think they're either doing a new series or a reboot of the show, or I mean, a movie or something. I haven't 100% sure, but they are bringing it back on Disney Plus. So I want to recheck them out and see if they're still as good as I remember them as a kid. But there are certain scenes from this movie that I remember, even though I haven't seen it for 20 years. And good stuff.
Cool.
My number 6 is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Nah, I didn't make my list. I think they're a little too cartoony.
I love these. When we're doing like a Christmassy kind of list, I always love the Santa Claus. I think it came out at the perfect time, mid 1994. You know, I was a young kid when this movie came out. I was 9 years old, and I love Tim Allen. I love the whole the shtick of the movie. I like the sequels too. I love the whole trilogy, and we rewatch these all the time. Specifically,
Wait a minute. You like the third movie?
Yeah, I like the third.
Oh my god, that movie's terrible.
It's good, man.
Ugh.
I think Tim Allen plays this role great, and you got to believe in Christmas. It's all about believing in Christmas, and and
seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing.
And they're fun, and we watch them over and over again. They're some of my favorite Christmas movies. So yeah, that's
listen. The first one, it's enjoyable. The second one has its moments, but the third one with Jack Frost and it's like the second one has its funny moments, especially with the Tooth Fairy. But the third one I just think is awful. It's just the Jack Frost character, and
I'm in the market to buy these on Blu-ray because I only have them on DVD, and I've been looking. We watch them so much. I was like, man, I want to get these on Blu-ray.
Okay, my number 7 is one of my 2 films with I forget what the girl's name is. She's crazy, but it's fine. My number 7 is The Parent Trap.
Oh, Lindsay Lohan.
Thank you. Trying to style your list, I'm assuming.
No, I don't even have this on my own mentions. I haven't seen this movie since I was probably 5 years old. When did this movie come out?
It was 90s, so it was early 90s because she plays 2 versions of herself. One is American, the other is British. They be at a camp and they find out they're like, oh yeah, we're twins, and oh, we're sisters. We have the same picture. We don't just look alike, we're actually sisters. The movie's fun. It's also got what's this guy's name?
Why were they separated at birth again? What was the reason?
Because the husband and the couple, they split up and they said, well, I'll take one, you take the other, and they just never were able to talk to each other. I guess it was too hard for them, so they just randomly meet at an all girls camp, and they said, hey, let's switch places. And so they become each other, and then I think the movie is a very sweet little story. I forget who plays the dad, but it's what's his face? Crap, I gotta look it up.
As you're talking about it, I do remember this movie. The dad like dating a young girl, and she comes out.
Yeah,
yeah. And she's like real snooty.
It's Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean, and I always like Dennis Quaid when I see him and stuff. And I just think this movie is just a fun one. It was one of the few films from like Lindsay Lohan where really before she went nuts, like you're really thinking like, okay, this girl could maybe do something the next few years. So I really like Parent Trap. I had to make my list.
Yeah.
All right, my number 6 is a fantasy film, and I went with the Chronicles of Narnia, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
The Chronicles of Narnia. Lonely Island. No, just me. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've seen parts of it. I remember going in a closet and coming out of Narnia. But I don't think I've ever sat down and watched it. There's a talking man, and it's supposed to be like Jesus or something, or God.
Yeah, I mean, the books are very biblical related, where Aslan he sacrifices himself for the people, and he gets back to life, and then the witch is supposed to be Satan, but she's basically the Ice Queen, so she's Elsa, and her part of the of Aslan is a frozen ice land, and you have these 4 kids. They come into Narnia, and they're being told that they're the princess and the kings of this of Narnia, and they have to help protect this land. You also have James McAvoy. This is like one of his first really movies. He plays a centaur character in the film, so it was kind of cool to see him in the film. But if you're into, it's not Lord of the Rings great fantasy movies, but after Lord of the Rings, we didn't get a lot of good fantasy films or any at all. And Narnia kind of it's like Chinese food. It gives you that little feeling, but after an hour or two, you're hungry again. So I think Narnia. It's a fun movie. Liam Neeson voices another god. Like you gotta love that. So yeah, Chronicles of Narnia definitely deserve to be on this list. So yeah, that's my 7 through 6.
All right. Well, we're not going to have much of the same this time around, are we? My number 5 is Queen of Katwe.
Okay. Yeah, I knew you would have that on your list.
I just love this freaking movie. It's about this girl in Africa and playing chess, and it's got the Hulk in there, or not the Hulk.
Hulk.
No, I'm mixing my movies up. Of course, it won't let me click on it.
I thought it was David Oyelowo in that.
Yes, it's David Oyelowo. I'm mixing up my movies here. But it's very heartfelt. It's kind of goes with the Disney tried and true like sports kind of movie, although it's not really a sports movie. I mean, unless you count chess as a sport, I guess. But it follows those paths along. Somebody who is struggling in normal life, but it's really excels at chess. And she's trying to leave the slums of Uganda to freaking better her family's life and stuff. And it's just, I really, really enjoyed it. And
yeah, I mean, Queen Katwe, it was surprisingly a decent film. The girl who played the Queen Katwe, I believe she died last year.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so
I didn't know that.
But then you also got Lupita Nyong'o. She's incredible. I mean, she's Lupita Nyong'o. She gives another great performance in the film. So yeah, I like Queen Katwe. It's not one I ever want to watch again, but it was decent. It was a decent enough movie. All right, my number 5 is a punt from earlier, and that was Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin. Yeah, probably should have had it higher on my list. To be honest,
I love Christopher Robin. It's my favorite. It's my highest. It's my highest animated turn live action film on my list because I love Winnie the Pooh, And I also really like Edwin McGregor. Don't get to see him do a lot of stuff, but when you get to see him in there, he's always great. And I like how he's a older Christopher Robin who is grown up, kind of thinking like, well, maybe I did dream of some of this stuff, maybe I didn't. And then he goes back to the Hugger Ader Woods. Also, you have Haley Atwell as his wife. Good to see her in other stuff as well. But I love the characters of the 100-Acre Woods. I mean, Eeyore is hilarious. I mean, he said, "Thank you for kidnapping me." And then Winnie the Pooh trying to reconnect with Christopher Robin. And I think this movie is great. I mean, got some great quotes. I mean, and I think the movie's just a fun little film, man. I love the characters from Winnie the Pooh. Every time I see him in anything, I always enjoy him. So yeah, Christopher Robin had to make this list.
I liked it, and I'm kind of the opposite of you. I'm not a big fan of Winnie the Pooh. Didn't really, knowing the lore. It has kind of a British kind of feel to it, which you also know I'm not the biggest fan of.
Oh, British!
And then, I think there was some movie we went to go see, and we got to see like the first 5 minutes of this movie or something. I don't remember. It was like a sneak preview or something, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good!"
It's just so charming. It puts a smile on your face and everything. I mean, it's hard to, if you're in a bad mood and you watch Christopher Robin, and if you're still in a bad mood, there's something wrong with you, because this movie always puts me in a good mood when I watch. I've seen it a few times, and it's a movie I'll watch a couple more times. I mean, it's a movie. It's like a hug.
All right. That was your number 4 or 5?
5.
5. My number 4 is The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
I knew this would be on your list.
Because I love this freaking movie. It came out the same week as what? Freaking mind-bendy Inception. And I remember walking into that movie and hating it, and going into this movie thinking, oh my God, it's going to be horrible. And walking out being like, I love this movie. And we rewatched it recently because I wanted Kia to watch it. And it's just such a good time. It's Nick Cage being awesome. You got Jay Baruchel as the young apprentice in training. They do an awesome nod to Fantasia in the film with the mop buckets. There's a whole scene in the musical number. It's fantastic. And I don't know. I just have a really good time with it. And I think it's Nick Cage being his best Nick Cage in this movie. And I like it. It's a fun little fantasy movie about sorcerers, and it's a good time.
Movie doesn't do anything for me. I mean, it's forgettable.
I
think the villain was stupid.
No, he's cool. He's the evil sorcerer.
Sure. And meh. It's a movie I would never ever watch again.
No.
Also struck.
Okay. Who does those drunk ones? Jeremy Johns.
Yeah. All right. My number 4
Mm-hmm.
is a superhero movie.
Ooh.
And I went with Sky High.
Oh, Sky High. I don't know what that is.
It's like, okay, so basically it's a superhero school. It's kind of like Hogwarts, where these young heroes are learning to become superheroes. But then you also have Kurt Russell, who's a superhero known as something. They have these like Clark Kent, and his wife can fly, and his son who doesn't know what his powers are. And so when he goes to the superhero academy, it's either you're a superhero or you're a sidekick. And then you have this, it's a fun movie. Like, it has some really fun moments. The action is a lot better than you think it would be. And like I said, it's Kurt Russell at like early Kurt Russell greatness. Like, it came out back in 2004, 2005. And it's a very underrated superhero film. Like, it's not like one of the greatest ones ever, but it has everything you want in there. It's like somebody who trying to understand his powers, to try to balance everything going around. And then, as you know, he starts off as a nerdy kid, but then once his powers come into power, he becomes super popular. People want to be around him, but then he has to realize, do I need to do I want these new friends that don't really care about me, or do I want my old friends? And then you also got the girl from Flash, the girl who plays Killer Frost. She has like a poison ivy's kind of power. She can control she can control like trees and the woods and stuff, but she never uses her powers because she doesn't believe in using her powers for good, or like unless she gets pissed off. So I really enjoy this film. It is such a good Disney film.
Interesting.
Okay.
Never heard of it or seen it. All right. My number 3 is Pete's Dragon.
Okay.
I love this movie. You've never seen this movie, have you?
Mm-mm.
I had seen the old Pete's Dragon, which is part animated, part live action from like the 50s or something. And I had seen it a long time ago with my grandma back in the day, and it doesn't really do anything for me. And I had never watched it since. I don't even really 100% remember what it's about. So when they came up with this live action movie, I went in just being like, cool, I like dragons and it looked kind of cool. This story I don't think is anything like the original, because this is a dog and his boy kind of story, or a boy and his dog kind of story, except a boy and his dragon kind of story. And it's also shows you the evil of man, something you see a dragon in the woods, and what's the first thing you want to go do? Well, men are evil, they're going to want to go kill it, hunt it. And it's a fun movie. It's got a ton of heart, and my favorite live action Disney movies have been on stuff that I either didn't really like very much, or ones I'd never really seen, like The Jungle Book. I'm not the hugest fan of The Jungle Book either, and that's why I like that one so much. And like another movie that's going to be on my list here in a minute. So my number 3 is Pete's Dragon.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's just one. Isn't what's his face in it? Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, Robert Redford.
Yes, Robert Redford's in it. He plays Bryce Dallas Howard, who's the.
Does she have high heels?
She does not have. She's a park ranger in the movie, but no, she doesn't run around.
Of course, she's a park ranger. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a good movie. You should borrow from me sometime. I think you'd like it. It's like live action How to Train Your Dragon, kind of thing, but it's pretty good.
I think that speaks more for. I think you're trying to sell me. I think you're trying to sell yourself, not me.
I love it.
I don't need a live action How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, my number 3. I'm assuming it's not on your list either, but it's such a fun movie, and I went with Freaky Friday.
No, this is another. I don't even know what this one's about.
It's basically
Lindsay Lohan again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Lindsay Lohan. So yeah. I mean, Lindsay Lohan, she plays a rebellious teenage daughter, and you have what's her girl's name? Woman's name? Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis plays the mom, and they always are arguing. Well, basically, they body swap. And so now she has to realize who her mom is, and then the mom now has to realize, okay, maybe she doesn't have it so easy and everything. And also the mom's supposed to be getting married the next day. So it's a Freaky Friday, and it's a remake, but the movie's really fun. It's got some good musical scenes, like there's a concert and everything, and it's a funny movie. It's got a little bit of like a coming of age element to it. I mean, the movie's it's a great little thing, and Lindsay Lohan's really, really good, and also Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is always good in whatever she's in, usually most of the time. But I really like her in it. But like I said, Lohan's great in the movie as well. It's also got the guys from NCIS, the older guy, white hair. I can't remember what his name is, but I think. I can't tell you what his name is, but he's been in those shows forever, and he's actually pretty decent in the movie as well. So Freaky Friday, very good early Disney 2000 movies that I love. So I totally, every time I see Freaky Friday on TV, I can't help but stop watching it for a few seconds. I'm like, I always enjoyed this movie, and move on.
What's that? I used to watch a movie with Vince Vaughn that just came out. Wasn't it called?
Freaky.
Freaky, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
So I wonder if they did that on purpose because you think
yes.
maybe, yeah, okay. Because it's body switching too. I've never seen this movie that you're like when you were talking about Parent Trap. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that. This one, I have no idea. I've never seen it. So
I'm kind of surprised. So I mean,
yeah,
it came out right. This came out like right around the time you would probably be watching movies. So I'm kind of surprised.
must have missed it.
Okay.
Okay. My number 2 is Aladdin.
Okay.
This is my favorite live action Disney movie. I'm not the biggest fan of the animated Aladdin. It's one of my probably, it's not in there. I know it's one of your favorites. It might be your favorite. We've done the animated ones. Isn't Aladdin up there for you? But
no, we haven't done Disney animation yet.
But I really enjoyed it. I like how they tweaked it just enough. I liked Will Smith's portrayal as the genie. I love the music. I can't wait for the sequel that I hope they're still doing. And I just really freaking love this movie. And once again, it's like Pete's Dragon. It's like Jungle Book. Animated movies that I didn't like very much, I seem to be liking the live action versions. And then my favorite animated movies that they are destroying, like the Lion King and Mulan. Not a fan. I also don't like when they tweak them I like small changes, but I don't want like a completely different movie. So it's a fine balance for me, but I really like Aladdin. It's a good time. And I've already watched it 3-4 times. I could totally see myself every couple years rewatching this one over the animated. I know you said you didn't do that except for on Jungle Book, but for me, this is my go-to Aladdin now. And I know I'm in the minority. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day. They're huge fans of Aladdin. They loved this new live action, but they were like, no way, the original's still better. And I was like, well, this is my favorite one. So.
Well, I mean, for me, just like I said, like the musical numbers, I don't like the remakes versions of it better than the original. The only thing they changed in this film is they give Jasmine a little more of a character, I guess. But even then, though, I still think Jasmine was a very character. She wanted to rebel. She wanted to live her life. She didn't want to live in a castle. So I don't really think that was really necessary for the movie. And the song, for me, her song, it's a great song. I love Jasmine's song, but it feels out of place. It just doesn't feel in the same groove of the rest of the Aladdin songs. So for me, that song kind of takes me out of the movie a little bit. And like Will Smith, he's fine as Genie, but you're not going to beat Robin Williams as the Genie. I mean, Robin Williams' improv in that original in Aladdin is like one of the greatest performances in an animated film of all time. And so it's nothing against Will Smith, but you're when you're competing against the great Robin Williams, and also there's that little weird romance between Genie and one girl. I mean, aren't you kind of like a god messing around with this mortal girl? So sure, whatever, Will Smith. But Will Smith was good in it, so I don't know. And I like the main guy, and I like the Pink Power Ranger. So it's an enjoyable film. And like I said, I didn't hate the movie. It's not a movie I'll ever rewatch over the original. And to be honest with you, it's not a film I would ever rewatch again, to be honest with you, because it's always going to be, okay, I want to watch Aladdin. What do I watch? Original or remake? Original, because I get to re-experience Robert Williams and other stuff. But it is cool that the main guy is rumored to be playing Ezra in maybe Mandalorian or Ahsoka, because we always said when we were watching Star Wars Rebels that Ezra was basically Aladdin. He was a street rat. So it's kind of funny. The guy who played Aladdin in a live action is going to maybe be playing Ezra in a Star Wars something. So that's cool.
It's my number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is my favorite Disney sports film, and that is Miracle.
Miracle. I don't remember that one. Is it about hockey?
Yeah. It's about the miracle at the Olympics when the United States hockey team beat the Soviet Union in the Olympics. Yeah, we talked about it before.
On our sports movie list, I guess.
But yeah, it's Kurt Russell. He plays as the coach, and he's trying to bring this team together to be able to even compete against the Soviet Union. Because the Soviet Union crushes everybody they play against, and it's one of the great sporting events in especially United States Olympic history. Because nobody beat Russia. Nobody was ever even coming close. And he took a bunch of college players who, instead of going for like the all-stars for the NHL, where the NHL played the Russia team and got killed, they played them and somehow won the game. And it's just such a uplifted sports movie and such an impossible story. And these movies, it's hard to beat a good sports film. And I just love Miracle, and I love Kurt Russell in the film as a coach. I think this movie is great. I had to be on my list.
Need to check it out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to say Rookie. That was the one I was thinking.
No. That wouldn't make my list at all.
A good one? No, it's not a good one.
It's okay. It's not.
That's one you bought and still have not watched. All right.
What's your number one?
I don't know. I'm hoping that we have the same number one, but maybe not. My number one is Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, it's my number one as well.
All right.
when you said at the beginning of the show, when you said there isn't a great movie on this list, I said I disagree. Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl.
This would be the closest one.
It's like when I did my top 100 movies of all time, this was an honorable mention.
Oh, okay.
So it was right on the cusp of making the top 100. Just it didn't have enough in there.
I do love this movie, and it's insane that this is just like this was a ride at Disney World, and they were like, come up with a story, and you get one of the greatest characters ever, and Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp, and Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley. The music's fantastic, and it's good stuff.
Oh, I love this movie. I mean, the action's great. And the best scene, one of my favorite scenes of the whole movie, is when Captain Jack arrives in Port Royal and the ship starts going down. It's like you see that scene and you know everything about the character of Jack Sparrow all in one scene in the movie. It's what I love about Pirates of the Caribbean. I just think that moment is incredible. And then also Orlando Bloom. I mean, other than Lord of the Rings, what other property do you recognize Orlando Bloom from? And that is Pirates of the Caribbean. And Keira Knightley is great. I mean, she has her moments, but I really like Captain Barbossa, played by
Georgie.
I'll make that.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Maybe I'm messing it up.
Jeffrey Rush.
That's where I was getting the G. That's where the George was coming from.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, he's great. I mean, great actor. He's been in all kinds of things. Shakespeare in Love. He was in The King's Speech a decade ago. I love his villain, and I like how they're kind of zombies, and it has that kind of little fantastical thing. Unfortunately, they did not make another good Pirates of the Caribbean that even comes.
Now, see, this is where me and you differ.
But it doesn't. But you can't say Dead Man's Chest or World's End comes close to Curse of the Black Pearl.
None of the sequels have been as good as the first one. You're right there, but I have enjoyed them. I think you've practically given up on the franchise, and they are in a weird predicament where they want to reboot it, but Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow is so popular that they don't know how to relaunch this franchise without him in it. And so I don't know what they're going to do. And maybe they should just quit. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't made money in a while. I mean, the last one didn't do that great at the box office. So they have other things they can focus on. They don't need to keep doing Pirate. Maybe in like 10 more years, you can revisit this franchise or even come up with something new. I mean, you don't have to have a Jack Sparrow in these movies. You could do something new and creative, create a new character or something, but the other characters they've created haven't been that great either. So
I'm pretty sure this is the first movie based on a theme park ride and that they did, and they've tried to recreate this success with other.
What are you talking about? Tomorrowland is an all-time classic film.
The Haunted Mansion, the one that we get this summer is Jungle Cruise. They're trying it with the Rock Viagra for the franchise, but I don't know. I don't know if they could pull it off again. Must have been a one-time.
I have a feeling Jungle Cruise is going to be awful.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. That ride's not very good. As somebody fresh out of Disney, I was like, really? We're gonna make it on this? At least Pirates I could kind of get, but
All right, that's our list. Let's combine this list. So obviously we'll put Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl at number 1.
whoop, whoop. It's a mouthful. Is our only other
Oh, we got 3 honorable mentions.
we have 3. Well, we have 3 other likes.
We both had National Treasure at 10, so we'll just put that at 10.
Okay.
Okay, I had Christopher Robin at 5. You had it at 9. So let's say about 6.
Sounds good to me. Christopher Robin.
Okay, now let's figure out the rest of this list. Okay, I had Miracle at 2. Would you have it 2?
Aladdin.
I'll give you Aladdin.
Woo!
You owe me one.
All right, I'll remember. I'm sure it'll be cashed here in a second.
Okay, Miracle at 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I had Freaky Friday at 3. Would you have it 3?
Pete's Dragon.
Okay, I'm gonna put Freaky Friday at 4.
Okay.
And then I'll put Peach Dragon at 5.
Okay.
Okay, my next movie, I had Sky High at number 4. What'd you have number 4?
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay, we'll go Sky High at 7. Okay, my highest movie left is Chronicles of Narnia at 6. What'd you have left?
I have Queen of Cotway at 5.
All right, you win.
I like it.
Yeah, of course you would. All right, let me announce this list.
All
The
right.
top 10 live-action Disney films. Yeah. At number 10, National Treasure. At number 9, The Queen of Cotway. At number 8, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. At number 7, Sky High. At number 6, Christopher Robin. At number 5, Pete's Dragon. At number 4, Freaky Friday. At number 3, Miracle. At number 2, Aladdin. And the number 1 live action Disney movie is Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
That was a very interesting list with a very interesting finish to the countdown.
All right. So, honorable mentions. You have any?
Oh, yeah, I got a shit ton. Ooh, are we allowed to cuss on the Easy Gate show? Especially when we're talking about Disney movies? Yeah, I had a couple sports movies in Glory Road and Invincible. I think we've talked about these a bunch. I don't think you've seen Invincible yet, but you should because Marky Mark's great in it. And then I had John Carter. Used to be called John Carter of Mars. I like this movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I've been
I was watching Smowdown last week.
Yeah.
And there was a John Carter question. It's like, what movie is the prince? And I was like, I bet it's John Carter. And the person lost the game because it was John Carter. And I was like, man, that sucks. But you know what? You're better for not knowing that answer.
No, I remember really enjoying this movie. I want to rewatch it again. I have The Jungle Book in here, which I think you had on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Homeward Bound. I remember watching that as a kid. I couldn't put it on my list though because it's another one that I haven't seen in so long. I don't know if it's anymore.
Yeah, I think it's terrible. I think it's terrible now if you go back and watch it.
Hocus Pocus, another movie from my childhood that they are working on a sequel for.
I thought they were doing a Netflix series on that. Or not Netflix, a Disney series.
Maybe it's a series. But I did remember enjoying the original movie. I just haven't seen it in so long. Blank Check is another one that I kind of remember. This kid gets, $1 million or something and just goes ham with it. Tron Legacy, that's a good one. I still haven't, I don't think, fully sat down. Maybe I watched Tron right before this movie came out to go see this one. But I really enjoyed the new movie. I know a lot of people hate on it. And then I was trying to figure out, is Hook a Disney movie or not?
I think it is.
Well, if it is, I count that one because that's my Peter Pan is Hook with Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And if I couldn't have, it wasn't on anybody's list of like top non-animated Disney movies, so that's why I was like, does people just hate this movie?
I've never seen it, so it's got a cult following. I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard some people say it's awesome. I've heard people say it's terrible. So I'm like, I'm just not even gonna take a chance on it. So I might watch it one day because it's Spielberg. But
yeah, what's that movie you were just talking about how Christopher Robin, how he's older and he doesn't know if he believes. That's what Hook's like. It's an older Peter Pan and he doesn't really believe anymore. He thinks it was just dreams or whatever.
As long as it's better than Pan.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
That movie is awful. But I'm not a big Peter Pan guy. I just don't like Peter Pan.
It's not my favorite either. This is my Peter Pan Hook. So that's my honorable mentions. What you got?
Okay. I have Mary Poppins and Mary Poppins Returns. They're enjoyable films. It's just I never cared for Mary Poppins, and I like Mary Poppins Returns a little better, just because Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote some of the music for the film. I went with the High School Musical series. Those are guilty pleasures for me. And also you have that series that just on Disney. It's not a bad series. Secretariat. It's not a bad little sports film about one of the greatest horses to win the Triple Crown. $1 Million Arm. It's got John Hamm as he goes to India to recruit cricket players to play baseball. And then also I had Aladdin as honorable mention. But then the one movie I almost made it on the list was Cinderella. Because Cinderella was one of the first live action movies, but it also changed the story up just enough, but it didn't change the overall feelings. So, and I think that was a great little Kenneth Branagh Disney film. I really wanted to make the list, but I was like, let's throw National Treasure some love.
Okay, that's the one.
So, guys, that is this episode of the Easy K Show. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Our next top 10, which will be in June, we're going to do top 10 ensemble films in honor of the stupid Fast and the Furious franchise having such a huge cast. So we're going to talk about movies that have a big cast, so ensemble films. So it'd be a fun list. We haven't done that list category yet. But next week, we're finishing up the Indiana Jones trilogy with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Should be a great, fun movie. Love Last Crusade. It's one of my favorite films of all time. I've seen this one more than the other ones, and I can't wait for Ray Cage to rewatch this film. And so it's gonna be a fun time at the Easy Cage arena. So yeah, I don't know. I'm drunk. I'm tired. So guys, follow Ray Cage at his blog at Letterbox, read his reviews. Also check me out here at my YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to watch Army of the Dead tonight. I don't know if I will or not. I've been playing some Mass Effect. I finally got my only 2 days I get to do anything. So yeah, I'm gonna try to watch Army of the Dead tonight and get a review out for this week. But other than that, we'll be back here on the Easy Case Show, and also make sure you check out my podcast channel, which is actually how you're viewing this. So I'll be talking about the Bad Batch episode, and I'm also going back and watching some Clone Wars episodes that relate to the Bad Batch, and I'm actually getting ready to watch a couple episodes of The Mandalorian as well, due to a certain character showing up in the Bad Batch. So guys, until next time, all too easy.
A certain character.